Hello, my beautiful little Aquarians, my little soul warriors. Okay, I'm Alea, and today I've chosen some air cards, some owl cards, fairies, because they have wings also, they fly. And this is the magical dimension cards, sorry. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. These three cards are basically who you are at this point in time, okay? We all change from time to time. 5 years ago, you weren't the same person. So these symbolize who you are now. This is, what have we got? I gotta take my glasses off. Four of Swords. Okay, a Four of Swords is, excuse me, where someone's healing, okay? He's sitting in between the swords, but in the regular Rider-Waite, they're laying down and there's swords around him, but they're resting from the situation, the past, okay? In this set of cards, if I can bring my iPad's backwards, sorry, let me put it over here. Okay, in this one, you see it looks like there were wings on the swords, and so again, I don't know whether the swords were made that way with a scabbard. Is that what you call it, scabbard? Anyway, there, or some wings actually got stabbed, but you're healing from a situation, okay? Trying to. And this is the Five of Swords. Oh, okay. So it looks like the swords are just made that way with the little wings on them. Of course, these are owl cards. But a Five of Swords is, sometimes it's something that somebody did what they wanted to, no matter what. It can mean that, depending upon the cards it's around. So I think in this situation, you see how the owl is standing on one of the swords, so nothing can hurt. Let me see what your next card is. Let's see. Okay, this is the Queen of Pentacles. So to me, I think somebody in the situation kind of did what they wanted to. They had a pretty big ego. I don't think that's why you're healing. I don't think that they cared much about anyone in reality. They cared more about themselves. Very big ego. And this is the Queen of Pentacles. And you see, she's she's the queen, let's face it. So she's very solid, because things of the earth are very solid. Pentacles are very solid, very stable, but they do mean abundance, money, abundance. It depends on what you call abundance. If you think just having enough to pay your bills and, you know, do the things that you really want to do without being extravagant, then that's abundance for you. Someone else may want to see a bigger picture. They may want to be able to travel the world and stay in nice hotels. So, but it's your picture of abundance, okay? Now, here's the thing about a king or a queen. They've all worked their way up from the bottom. They just didn't become a king or a queen because they inherited that position. They had to work their way up. So you know the value of money. You know the value of stability. You're a very stable person. You like stability. But, I mean, okay, a queen or a king has to rule a country or whatever they rule. So they still have to make decisions based on the type of person they are. And for you, you make decisions very logical, I believe, very stable. I think you try to keep your life very stable. Okay, let's see. They're telling me one more of these. From the bottom, they're saying. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I love it when the cards talk to us. This is you. And this is... Whoop, don't have it in focus. This is the Hermit. Okay? Now, the thing about the Hermit is, in the original Rider-Waite, there was a mountain. He was on top of the mountain by himself, holding his lantern out. And I'll explain the lantern in a minute. But he climbed that mountain by himself. No help. He did it by himself. So you've had to achieve, and that makes sense with you, with the Queen of, get this other one out of the way, with the Queen of Pentacles. You did it on your own. But you see the little lantern he's holding? Now the lantern symbolizes, it can symbolize several different things, but the lantern is your internal light, what you see inside. The Hermit goes off to himself so he can he wants to be introspective. Is that the right word? Anyway, he wants to see what's inside of himself. He wants to figure out himself. He wants to see everything. And he's not afraid. He goes off by himself. Sometimes you're a little loner, I believe. You do things on your own. But it also means, it's sort of like when you wish upon a star. You've got this guiding light there. You go off to yourself, and when you do, I believe you see things. You think you're a great thinker. This is the Six of Cups. Can you see it? I've got it in focus. Okay, and this card a lot of time means has to do with the past. Not always. You see, this is a little young baby, and the adult is feeding the baby from a cup of, again, I got this in another reading, cup of worms there. But that's what birds eat. It's nutritious for them. It's nurturing them. And so sometimes it can just mean letting your heart go and having fun like when you were younger. So I think sometimes the past does get you down. Okay? But you try to figure it out. You really think a lot, and sometimes you're alone. Okay, and this is the Nine of Wands, and you see it's like a fence, like he's made a fence. Okay, and I think, and I've said this before, this it looks like he's got a bandage on his head, and in the Rider-Waite, this does sometimes symbolize a wounded warrior. I was trying to get those two words out together, tongue twister. But it means you've come through some things that have left you wounded, but you're putting up a fence. Nobody's getting past you now. This is what I'm doing. I'm not going any further. Pretty neat card. I like that card. Okay. Let's see what they want me to do now. Okay, they're saying fairies. All right. Top or bottom? And they're saying bottom. Okay. Let me get these out of the way so you can see them hopefully a little bit better. Maybe. Okay. So, here we are. This is solitude. Well, okay. Off by yourself and solitude, two different card decks. So I think you do stay by yourself sometimes. I think you might be a little bit of a loner, which is okay. I think a lot of times loners figure things out more than somebody who's in a bunch of activity all the time. Okay, let's see if I can read this. Sorry, people, I have to bring it a little closer if I take my glasses off. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that are silently during your quiet times. That wait silently during your quiet times. I believe you do. You are a thinker, and you do. This is a beautiful card you see. If I can bring it a little closer. Her gown is like luminous. You see that? And she's got a radiance around her head. So same thing with this card. You see the light glows. So I believe that you're alone quite a bit, but I believe it's helping you. I think you think through a lot of things. Pretty intelligent. Okay, look in a book. You know, this has come up so in, well, I guess 2 or 3 readings. Whatever your questions are right now, you'll find the answers in a book. The words you find will bring insight you seek. Okay, and this card is saying it's in a book, but I don't always adhere to that. I think sometimes someone can say something, you can be watching something on YouTube, maybe a speaker, you know, a self-help speaker. You can watch something maybe on TV, maybe one of the Enlightened programs or something. But somewhere, something is coming to you, some info that you need that's going to, you know, sometimes things just click. Someone says something to you, and that one little sentence, just that one little sentence, just makes everything work, or some things go away. Not everything, because we have so many things to do. It'd be boring in life if we didn't. Okay, and this is fairy spotting. Maybe I need to lower it down. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. And you see she has, can you see it? There's a little fairy here. This young lady is looking and she's seen a fairy and she's holding out her hand. So here you are right here creating. You're going inside. You're seeing the truth. You're very, again, spiritual, I believe. I think so many people at this point in time, are becoming a little bit more spiritual. Maybe because of things that have happened in the universe, all the planets and constellations where they're moving around. I won't go into that. But anyway, but I think you need to see what you want. I think you may be having trouble believing. You know what to think, you know how to think, but you get stuck a little bit trying to, when you use your imagination, let's put it this way, let me rephrase this. When you use your imagination sometimes and you think, well, I know this is supposed to work. We create our life with our imagination and what we think, but then when you get there, reality hits sometimes. And you say, well, look, I've been imagining, but, you know, so you war a little bit between your own mind, in your own mind, between wanting to see it, wanting to create it, and then reality showing up. But this card's telling you, you've got to believe it to see it. Am I in focus? Okay. So don't give up. You are a strong, strong person. You've come through a lot. I'm going to show you again. Okay. You're healing. You've gone off to yourself. Okay. And here we are. you picking up one of the swords of truth. This can also symbolize some of the situations you were in with someone. But we're not going to go back to the past. And this could be another card of the past too. But you're such a strong person. You're going off by yourself. You do have thoughts of the past. But I think that you know what you have to do. You know how to get out of this. You've gotten out of this. Some info is coming to you somewhere. I know you're saying, well, I wish you'd bring it on now. But look, this is who you are. You're a very stable person. Again, you've set up boundaries. But now you just have to focus a little bit more on what you want and how to change yourself. Okay. Let's see. Who do we need next? Okay. And they're telling me, take it off the top. Okay. I love doing the cards like this because when you do several different decks, and yes, I talk with my hands, but when you do several different decks, and they all confirm, like, see, this one is solitude, and this is another deck saying basically that you're the hermit, you stay by yourself. So I love that. So you can take that to heart. Okay, this is adventure, innocence, play, discovery, and that goes along with right here. Kind of, you know, there's nothing that you can't do. You just got to believe it to see it. That's pretty neat. So I think you need some new adventure. You need to play a little bit more. You're very serious with yourself, and you know what you want to do. Let me move it over here so you can see it a little better. These are beautiful cards, but you see, can I get it a little closer where you can see? There's a fairy inside. She's looking, and she has the key. Can you see this? She's got the key to seeing. Two different cards. She's seeing a fairy in here, and she has the key behind her. And this is fairy spotting. Believing is seeing. See, two different decks. So this is really amazing because they want you to play in your mind a little bit more. You've gotten too serious, and you're very studious, and you know what you want to do. You know what you want to accomplish. And what am I trying to say? You know what you want to become. That's what I'm saying. But they're saying play a little bit more. You can have some fun. You need to have some fun, but you need to imagine more fun things. Okay, sorry, that one went there. There we go. Okay. And this is harmonic resolution, negativity, anger, transmutation. And what you've done, you had some anger in this situation. You really, really did. I might have to rethink this one too. This one may be saying that you were very angry, and you might have had a little bit of ego too in this situation. But you were very angry. You see all the red here? Red is power, energy, sometimes anger. It can be sensuality, but you had some anger. But I think that's why you look inside yourself so much. You don't want to be like that. I think that's absolutely fabulous. And a lot of people say, I want to be, I don't want to be like that, but they don't do any work to change. If you keep thinking the same way, you stay the same person, but you haven't. You're thinking differently. Wow. Beautiful change. Takes a lot of courage to do that, to look inside yourself. Celestial assistance, angelic messages, guidance. Have I got it in focus? Enlightenment. And that's just, oh my gosh. I'm just going to keep pulling these cards out, people, because you went inside yourself. You tried to figure things out, but you've got guidance from the universe, from spirit. Oh, let me take them down a little bit more. How fabulous is that? But you are someone who goes in deep. You try to figure things out. You're a real thinker, but you do have that guidance. And I think you know that. I think you look at where you came from to where you are now, and you know you've been guided. But I think you're very serious about wanting to accomplish the rest of the things. But you just have to let go just a little bit. Play a little bit more with yourself. Imagine more fun things. Imagine you being some kind of, I don't know, superhero or whatever, you know. But, you know, nobody could do the 4-minute mile until one person did it. And then everybody did it. They thought it was impossible, but it wasn't. So whatever you want to imagine, there's no impossibilities. And I believe, do we need to do one more set? I don't think so. You are a very powerful thinker. I believe you're by yourself most of the time. But boy, you have dug in deep. You sit there and figure out what you did wrong or what you're thinking wrong and how to change that. And that is someone who just has an extreme amount of courage. It takes a lot for us to look at ourselves and not blame someone else. And a lot of times we have guilt, but I will tell you, this is the thing about guilt. When you keep going over and over guilt, you're punishing if you felt like you hurt somebody, you keep seeing yourself hurting them again and again and again. And why do we do that? They're really, you don't want to hurt somebody. You've come through it and you've realized you have remorse. So whatever the situation, whatever you said or did, but you still feel a little bit of guilt. The thing is, we have to let that guilt go. It's not logical to keep seeing that over and over again, but our mind does that sometimes. But that's what you've done. You are changing yourself. You're changing your personality. I mean, there'll be things that will stay the same because you're a very stable person. You see the pentacles, you are a very stable person. You like stability, and that says a lot for you. And then you've gone inside yourself and tried to figure out things. And now you're changing. Wow. You could be changing something in your body as well, maybe the way you dress or something. I don't know if you're maybe deciding to do, I don't know, an exercise routine or go places more or something. But beautiful, beautiful, a lot of strength. I just am so proud of you. It takes a lot of guts to come this far. Thank you so much. I love y'all. I really, really do. And I hope this helps. Love y'all.